So Newfound Glory, Make the Most of It, is our brand new acoustic album on Revelation Records. Yeah. I feel like this is our most unexpected record.
Totally.
What do you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
We
did not have plans to make this record. We, over COVID, we did a live stream acoustic, where we kind of redid one of those like MTV Unplugged style. We did it all throwback, and we did a bunch of our singles and popular fan songs acoustic. Sold the stream and whatever, and it had like a really huge like feedback from our fans. Our fans really loved it. So we all talked like, oh, one day we should release these. We had no plans of making a new record or anything, and then I went into the hospital. I got sick, and when I got out, I felt super inspired. So I hit up the guys, started writing like acoustic riffs, getting some feelings out there on paper. And then we just talked and we're like, what if we, hit up Rev, took some of the live unplugged classic songs, but wrote a bunch of new songs and did an acoustic record. I think would be really fitting for us. And because with our band, like a thing about Newfound is, if you're like a big Newfound Glory fan, you know this. If you're more a Surface fan, you might not know this, but like every record we have a lot of different style songs. We have like songs from like Coming Home, even Catalyst with I Don't Want to Know, and we have a bunch of like songs that aren't fast punk songs, And so we love writing those kind of songs, and naturally those just started coming out because the experience that I went through, how it affected all of us, and just the place kind of put us.
I feel like there was a lot less pressure. I know I'm all over the place because I normally am, but
yes.
Recording this, Cyrus engineered it. So normally when you're in the studio, you have like a producer in there or an engineer, and
big-time producer.
You start like, at least for me, I can only speak for myself. My mind's going 100 miles an hour. I'm like worried about messing up or making mistakes. I'm worried about remembering parts and this and that. But it was such like a comfortable setting because we already had recorded record there before, so we were already like the actual atmosphere we were comfortable in, and just knowing that Cyrus was in there recording it, it was just a lot less pressure, at least for me recording my parts, knowing like, okay, Cyrus knows what we're going for. If I mess it up, he's not going to make me feel stupid. He's just going to say, hey, let's do it again, sort of thing.
Yeah, and not having that pressure, it's just like this, like you can just go and like just be in there and
there's just no anxiety.
Like even the photos, like on the record, my friend Stevie, our friend Stevie, some of you might know him from touring with us before, but Stevie's tattooing now. But even him, he's like, he got in photography. He hasn't done like stuff for very long, but his photos look really raw and like rough and grainy and rough. And I was like, hey, dude, come up here and take photos, And it wasn't like a pro photo shoot. It wasn't like a setup thing. It was just like our friend with a camera that does prints. He does his, all, what's it called, film kind of stuff.
Film.
And he just kind of did it. And, my buddy Nick, who played in this hardcore band Strong Arm, he actually did, he's in Further Seems Forever, but he also did the Shai Hulud, my old band 7-inch for Rev. I hit up Nick, I was like, hey man, you want to do the artwork? He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, sure. So just sent him the photos, like everything about it was just really raw. And I think that the cool thing about that kind of stuff, even in writing, recording, like Ian's talking about, and Jordan and Cyrus, having Cyrus engineer it, some of the like best records that I've always liked, it's not about sort of like going through the motions of like professionalism or what's the biggest or what's the best. It really truly is just like the natural, like 100% trying to be yourself without fear. And I think that's like across the board.
We got to record and like have fun. I feel
like it was super raw. It was just raw.
Why don't we talk about after these raw tracks we recorded, we were able to pass them off to
Mark Trombino.
Exactly, somebody that we've always wanted to work with.
Another check off the list of accomplishments.
It's just everything together. It just makes all sense. It just makes all the sense.
It makes all sense.
And it was cool because we know obviously Mark is an amazing producer, engineer, mixer, all the above. And we never really been able to work with him.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know out there, Mark Trombino produced like all like the big Jimmy World ballads you love, that's Mark Trombino. And then if you're deeper into like, you know, the Jealous sound, you get more into emo stuff. He's even done a Rilo Kiley record.
Let's not forget Blink-182 Dude Ranch.
Oh yeah, Dude Ranch, exactly.
Midtown.
Yeah, he did
Midtown.
Midtown.
Yeah, God, I wish I could make you for the rest of my. So Trombino's done like so many records, and he hasn't done a record in a while. He owns a really cool donut spot in Silver Lake or LA somewhere. What is it?
Donut Friend.
Donut Friend. And
They have newfound glory holes there.
so, like, he hasn't really done a record, so when we hit him up, he was psyched because we were looking for a mixer, and he was able to like work at home when he was done with the donut stuff at night and stuff. So anyway, so that's all I was going to say. For those of you who don't know, that's who Mark Trombino is.
Great
Yeah,
donuts.
and then I can add, at least personally for me, recording, engineering this record, being a little unsure about, you know, how it's all going to work out. Is it going to be too raw? Like, there's that comfort in knowing that you're going to hand it off to somebody that has such a resume that he'll be able to take this no matter what and kind of put it together, which he did. He took the songs and obviously elevated them and made them sound even better than we could ever imagine. And it was really cool knowing that we could kind of like give just whatever we had and be like, hey, why don't you give your input on,
Yeah.
do you think maybe you should turn this one thing up or pan this vocal this way? Or
He sprinkled some of the Trombino-ness on there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
You listen to Jimmy Eat World Clarity, and then you're like, oh, I want to have some of that little sparkle on this song.
He salt
We did.
baited.
Yeah, he did. He did the little.
He went over the recording and just like sprinkled a little.